Welcome to the TED Community Personal Stories videos. Today we are very fortunate from Kenya to have Aurelia, who is going to share with us her story of TED, somewhat of Graves. And hi, thanks for joining us. And please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're living, and then tell us about your diagnosis with Graves and TED. Like, when did that happen, and what was your life like before? But please take a moment to introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Christine. My name is Aurelia Tanki. I'm a citizen of Kenya, HR by profession, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm actually a TED lady from Kenya. I think I'm the very first one in Kenya. I don't think maybe you've met one or any other person, but I'm glad to be here. I'm so happy to be part of this TED community.
So tell us a little bit about what was your life like before, and what age were you when you were first diagnosed?
Actually, mine began when I was very young. I was actually 12 years of age. I, 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 at that time, I was a very jovial girl. I was very hardworking in school. I was very social, very playful, and I was doing very well. And my parents were really very happy about me because they were very optimistic that indeed I was going to have a great future. So for me, before TED, life was good. I was really enjoying it, and I loved going to school at that time.
And then what happened?
Then after that, I began now experiencing some weird symptoms in my body. I started feeling like I had some anxiety, first of all, and then came the palpitations. I could feel my heart was really racing very fast. At that time, I didn't even know what was happening with me because for me, I've lived a normal life. So at that time, I was like, maybe it is just normal, or maybe it is adolescence because I was 12 years of age. So I could not really tell what was going on with me. So after some time, I started eating a lot. I could eat frequently. I was eating like after every hour, after some few minutes, I was so hungry, and I was really putting my family members in pressure because they had to be around me, they had to cook for me, they had to provide. And then after that, I also started having swollen eyes. Yeah, I remember there was a day I went to school and one of my classmates actually mentioned to me. I didn't know what was happening with me, but she mentioned that one of my eye, actually it started with one eye. So she mentioned that one of my eye was swollen. At that time, because it was early in the morning, I thought maybe I overslept or something, or maybe just something biting or something. I could not explain what was going on with me. So I went back home in the evening, and my mother again could see the changes with my eyes. So then I slept that night, and then I woke up the next day. Now it was now in the both eyes. It was in both eyes. So the both eyes were swollen, they were red, and I could even, most of the time I could spend much of my time outside playing, but I had sensitivity to light. So my life began to change, and then again there was a swelling on my neck. I had a thyroid enlargement. So that time I could not really tell what was going on with me. I was so stressed. I was so, being a young girl, my family members were so stressed. And remember that time I come from the interior part of Kenya, so we didn't even have mirrors, so that when someone mentioned that your eyes are swollen, you can quickly rush to the mirror and have a look at yourself. So that time I could only hear what people were commenting about me, what my mother was saying, what my siblings, people around me were so they were so scared. They were so worried about me. Yeah.
How long did it take before you knew that you had an autoimmune Graves and yeah, go ahead.
It took actually quite some time, because it was a very rare condition, number one. It was the very first one to be reported in my county, because initially people thought actually it was a curse that was brought to our family. There was a lot of misconceptions that were going on. So it took quite some time. I used to go to the local hospital. I go there, I get some medication, I come back, but there were nothing, like it was not improving. It was even getting worse. So every time again, the next time I get sick, I go again back to the hospital until one day now the doctors recommended that I think maybe you should try going to a bigger hospital. Maybe there are some physicians there, or maybe people who can understand what was really going on with me. So after my parents were advised that way, they now decided to sit as a family and agree and now go towards that direction.
Hmm. Hmm. And did you like when you finally found help, did they give you suggestions what you could do about the Graves and then also about the thyroid eye disease?
When I went to that hospital, I was still very young, and at that time, actually, I could only rely on the decisions from my parents. And I can remember very well that every time when I was sick, I could lose my memory. There was memory lapse. I could not even remember what was going on around me. So at that time, I had nothing much actually to do from my end, but everything was every information was given to my parents. They had to just do as they were advised.
Hmm. So did they give you any kind of like a medicine or
Y- y- Yes, I was put on when the thyroid was actually becoming bigger and bigger, and my eyes also were bulging. The doctor recommended that I be put on carbimazole. There is a certain medication that is called carbimazole. So they ruled out that I had hyperthyroid. So, and at that time, I could not undergo because my thyroids were really very, very high. My thyroid hormones were very high. So they recommended that I take the medicine for some time, and then after that, now once the hormones have stabilized, then they recommended a surgery.
Mhm. Oh, and then did they take your thyroid out?
Yeah, the thyroid was removed. The goiter, it was removed. Now
Hmm.
leaving a very big mark on my neck.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And do you have trouble with your thyroid once it was taken out? Like
Sorry.
with the hyperthyroid, did all the symptoms go down once your thyroid was out? Like did it
Yeah.
solve those problems?
After it was removed, the symptoms didn't really go down like immediately. It took quite some time because I remember I had to stay in hospital for so long because they had to monitor, they had to do a lot of checkups. But after some few years now, I started seeing some changes. I could maybe when I'm not on medication, that was when now the thyroid, the hormones could react. Because now I was given certain medicines, and I was also told to avoid some certain food. So I really tried to follow the doctor's instructions with the help of my family. And with time, not really immediately, but with time, I started seeing some changes, and I was really happy about it.
Hmm. And then what about when your thyroid was taken out? Did it affect your eyes at all, or did they still stay swollen?
Now, I remember when we were in the hospital, my family members, especially my brother, he was very worried about the eyes. Yeah. So I remember him asking the doctor if after all this now my eyes the thyroid has been removed. So what will happen to the eyes? And the doctor mentioned that the eyes may not go back as it was, but slightly it might go back just not as much as it was, but just slightly. Yeah, a slight change. He was advised that you will just see a slight change in the eyes, but after that, from what they are telling me, they are saying they are not seeing any improvement actually from the eyes. Yeah, my eyes are still the same. It didn't go backwards as it was, but it is still the same after even the thyroid was removed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then what kind of symptoms did you, other than your eyes getting very large, did it feel like something was in your eye? Did your eyes get red? Were you sensitive to light?
Even up to today, sometimes when I'm in intense light, I usually feel some kind of irritation with my eyes. But it's not all that serious. But that time, I could not even sit on the sun. I could not use light there. You know, I was staying in the village at that time, and we didn't even have electricity. So we were relying on this local source of light, and I think it was also affecting my eyes. So my eyes were red, my eyes were teary all the time. But after some time now, it started changing and changing. It was improving with time. Yeah.
Hmm.
And by now, I think I'm better than how it was that time. Actually,
Hmm.
far better. Yeah.
How was it for you socially? I mean, you're just a child. Probably went back to school after the hospitalization. And how do you cope, as a child being around other children, like because you look a little bit different? You don't now. I mean, you look great.
Mm.
But as a child, if you had that kind of swelling to your eyes, did other kids comment?
Actually, I've been having that challenge since childhood. Even up to now, Christine, I still have the same problem, even in adulthood. But it was more when I was a child because I was actually the only person with big eyes, so they could make fun of me. You have big eyes, you look different, you look odd. They could tell me all manner of things. And then again, when I was in school, I used to be isolated. Every time, maybe there is something. I remember there was a day in school, there was a mathematics symposium that I was to attend, and they were picking the best students. So I was among the 10 that was selected. And then surprisingly, out of nowhere, the teacher decided that I should not go. So he removed my name and replaced with someone else. I really felt very bad because everyone in my class knew that I was a performer. I was really doing good at that time. That was now after the surgery and after the medication, after the treatment process was done. So I had to bear with the consequences of TED. It's been a very painful journey for me since when I was in school, even up to now. It's a challenge. It's a very big challenge for me. Yeah.
Hmm. So you feel that people treat you differently because of your eyes, because of the way that you look. Even though, I
Yeah.
mean, you look great now, but I mean, I know the feeling because I've been through it. So I know what you're
Mhm.
saying.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
people, even up to now, I'm working, I'm an HR by profession. So even up to now, before, when I walk into a room, even before I say my name, people, they have already dismissed me. They equate my physical appearance with the incompetency. They see someone who is unwell. When they look at my eyes, they see someone who is sick. Someone, when they look at the mark on my neck, they are like, this person, I don't think this person fits this role. So it's been a very big challenge for me. Even up to now, the same problem is still, it is still there. Yeah.
Mhm. So, I mean, you probably don't want to withdraw from life. So, what do you do like inside yourself? Like, what kind of mindset do you keep so that you can still live a full life? Like, not let yourself be defined by TED.
Yeah. I remember last year, I think my mindset actually changed last year. I was really going through a lot in my place of work. I was being discriminated, and it was very clear that it was not about the performance or anything. It was just because of how I looked. So it's been quite a challenge. People have been looking at me and they are like, this one, no, this one doesn't deserve this one doesn't deserve that. But I've really tried. There was a day I sat and I told myself, no, I don't think I should continue this way. I remember last year I was almost going through depression. Yeah. So I sat and I told myself, how comes? Is it only me who is going through this? Because it was a very painful experience. Yeah. And it is not only in my place of work, even in outside there, the society. When you go somewhere, people look at you. Some people even might. Sometimes there is a place I went and someone was greeting the rest of my team members. He greeted everyone and he left me. So I was like, is it because of how I look or what? So it was very painful for me, and I really sat and I told myself, I think I should do something. I should do something because it was eating me up, and I was beginning to even think negatively about me. I started seeing myself as someone who is not worthy of anything, someone who is not capable of doing anything. Yeah. So after that, I meeting with myself, the mindset actually shifted. I began doing a research. I started looking for stories of people who have been through this. I went to the internet. I researched and I was like, let me look for I might find someone who has been through this so that at least I get to know how they navigated through the issue. So I went to Facebook, I searched and I could not see anything. I went to LinkedIn, I could not see anything. Then I went to Chat GPT and I was able to find some organizations that are supporting people with TED. So I said, let me take it further and see if there are photos in their website, if there is something I can get that can really help me. So I also went there, and I remember even last year, December, I opened an advocacy platform on LinkedIn, and I started now posting my stories. I started talking about my how the challenges that I've been through. I started sharing, and I realized that the more I share, the more I even become better because I had no one at that time to share these challenges with. You are an adult and it's sometimes it becomes very, you can't rely on anyone. You can't talk to your family members about the personal issues that you are going through. So I had to navigate it all alone, and I had never met anyone with TED, so it was quite a challenge. Sometimes I could meet people who have had their thyroids removed and they were asking me, and how comes you look unique? I also had thyroid. My goiter was removed, but it never affected my eyes. So what is wrong with you? What really happened? Yeah. So I talked to myself. I had to do a lot of research. I had to search for communities, and actually that is how I end up with the TED community. I searched on LinkedIn and I found a community that is supporting people with TED, and I was like, wow, I think this is where I should be. Maybe I should try reaching out. Maybe someone can get in touch with me, and then maybe now we can have a one-on-one, and I can get help from there. And I can tell you for free, since that time, my life has not remained the same. Yeah.
We are so glad to connect with you. Just so
Thank you,
happy.
Christine.
When I received your email, I was just so happy. And then I think I first saw the connection through LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're just so happy to have you as part of the TED community,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing some advocacy in your area, just seeing if there's people in your area that are also have TED, because when you have thyroid eye disease, like what you experienced, is the tendency is to withdraw. So like
Mm-hmm.
you just stay really quiet and in the background. And so like as TED patients, we want to find each other and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you're not alone. And
Mm-hmm.
to help that person come out of that isolated place and
Mm-hmm.
just say, let us help you along this TED journey. So we like to say we're on our way to NED, which
Mm-hmm.
is NED, no evidence of disease. So we
Mm-hmm.
just say we're TED patients on our way to NED, and we're
Mm-hmm.
all together with each other. And
Mm-hmm.
we're just very determined to have like a very good and full life and
Mm-hmm.
not be defined by TED or
Sure.
like
Mm-hmm.
all this. It's kind of like the pep talks that you give to yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
we give those pep talks to each other to,
Mm-hmm.
just to say, hey, we're with you, and we totally understand. So, but it's just so lovely to have you with us and to have you, just to hear some of your story, and just be supporting you all the way, and creating more connections. I think we have people all over the world. TED has no borders, so it
Sure.
can affect anyone. And so we, hope that you'll connect with our international community, because we've been gathering people from all different countries, and we're going to all meet up on Zoom
Mm-hmm.
as a group. So we hope
Mm-hmm.
that you'll be part of that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's fantastic to have you with us. Is there any like message that you would like to, like, as we end this talk, is there any message that you would like to say to other TED patients, no matter where they are, in whatever country?
Um, Actually, I have a message for someone going through TED right now. I like you to know that you are not alone in this. We've been there, and we have managed, we have come from far, and TED has treatment. Let nobody tell you otherwise. Follow your doctor's instructions, take your medication, and I want you to know that you are more than TED. TED doesn't define anyone. Yeah.
Yeah,
So just keep doing what you are doing. If you are a child in school, work very hard. If you are an employee at work, focus on your work and let nobody tell you otherwise. Yeah. TED has
yeah,
treatment, and you will be fine. You will be okay. You are more than a conqueror.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. You're such an
Mm.
inspiration. So, well, thanks for joining us. And then, if you'd like to learn more about the TED community, just need to go to TED community.org, and you'll find all kinds of resources there. And yeah, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah.